I'm going to show you how to animate a ball. So we are going to basically bounce a ball. It's going to be really simple, really easy, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. All right, so what I would like you to do is, for your canvas size, you need to choose a square size canvas. This gives us the most options for, different layers and stuff, and I just like to use it. So I'm going to click my square size canvas. Of course, I'm going to kind of pinch it down a little bit. I like to see everything around my canvas. All right, so to start with, let's just choose a soft blend. No, sorry, hard brush. Okay, this is in your airbrushing, so let's choose that. Choose any color you want. I'm going to go with the red ball just because, yeah, it's easy. All right, so for my first drawing, I'm just going to increase my brush size to about a 20%. And I'm going to draw my ball. All right. Now that I've got that, I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to hit my arrow button, and all I'm going to do is move my ball up just a little bit. Okay. Can you see that? So I'll turn off that layer so you can see. So I moved it up some. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer again. I'm going to hit the arrow button, and I'm going to move it up a little bit more. All right. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn off the other layer so you can see my balls moving up just a little bit more. I'm going to keep the original ball there so you can see the steps that I'm taking to move it. So now I'm going to duplicate this again, hit my arrow button, move it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to duplicate this again, hit the arrow button, and then now that my ball has gone up, I'm going to make it come back down again. So now I'm just going to move it slightly downwards like that, just a little bit. Uncheck the arrow button. I'm going to turn off that layer that I just had. I'm going to duplicate this again. Hit the arrow button. Come down a little bit more. Then I'm going to duplicate this layer that I was just working on. And then I'm going to drop down my ball just a little bit more. So when you turn on all the layers, you will notice I have like what looks like a little caterpillar or something moving. However, I'm going to show you how it looks when I turn on Animation Assistant. So I'm going to click on my wrench bar. I am going to find the Animation Assistant by clicking on the action item that says Canvas. And if you look, the second one down says Animation Assistant. I'm just going to turn that on. You will notice that once I turn it on, down here at the bottom of my canvas, I have this little toolbar that pops up. It says play. It has all of my layers here. So each layer becomes one frame. That's all down here. A frame is just the picture that's, taking what's being animated. So it's the frame. I have settings here that shows me little things that I can do. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then you can add a frame. So if I need to add a frame or a layer, I can do it here without having to go up to my layers menu. Okay, so I'm going to press play to show you how this looks. So this ball is basically, it looks like it's bouncing, right? And that's all I did was just start with one layer, one little dot of a ball. I duplicated it and I moved it up some. I duplicated that one, moved it up some because it's where I left off at. And I just kept doing the process until I had all of these balls moving, okay? All these balls in different areas. So on each layer, your next layer is basically what you want your object to do next, okay? If you have gradual enough steps, it'll look a little bit more seamless. So the reason why this keeps bouncing and bouncing because it's on a loop. If you go to settings, you'll see that it has a loop there. So that's one setting. If I put on a loop, it will just keep repeating all these frames over and over and over and over again. Well, let's say if I wanted to ping pong it, this means that it will start at one side of the frame and then go back to the next one and then reverse back, go forward, reverse back, go forward, and keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like a ping pong. One shot is basically just one shot. It just plays it one time. That's it. Okay, that's all it's going to do. So that's how you create a bouncing ball. Well, let's say I want to slow this down some, okay? I'm going to keep my loop on because I want it to look like it's just continually bouncing. So I'm going to keep my loop on, but I want to slow this down a little bit. I want to slow each frame down some. So in order to do that, I'm just going to click on my first frame, and you will notice that frame options come up. I'll show you that again. All I do is just click on that frame down at the bottom, and you'll notice frame options comes up. Then I'm just going to move my frame duration for about, let's move it to 4, okay? And I'm gonna press play. You notice that the first one stays there for a little bit longer. So if I go to my next frame or my next layer, open up frame options, if I move that to 4, you will start to notice, let me move that to 4, you will start to notice that your items will start to slow down. Each of your frames will slow down just a little bit. See that slowing down compared to what it was before? So now it's kind of like bouncing and then going. So if I keep doing that to each frame, if I apply the same hold duration to it, it will slow down each of my frames just a little bit. And this is basically just how long this frame will be showing for. So let me press play. So you see how it slowed down some? So what you can also do is you can change those numbers up, okay? You can change them up and do different things. I won't get too much into that, but you can change up the number of frames that each time is showing. I don't mind each of my frames playing as fast as they were. I think it kind of looked pretty cool. So I'm just gonna change it back to what it was. It had no hold duration because I want my ball to be bouncing pretty quickly. I think I'll leave the first one as it is. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks like someone's actually like dribbling a ball or something. So that is how you make, you animate something and how you can animate like a simple ball bouncing, okay? It's just that easy. So when you're doing animation, start really, really simple and then work your way up. So let's say if you wanted to add some other things to it, you can do that. So let's say if I wanted to add something to my layer 3, I'm going to go to my layer 3 options. You notice it's on my layer 3 right there. And let's say if I wanted to add, I don't know, something in there like another ball, right? So I would add that ball there, and then all I would do is just add it to all my remaining layers. And you notice another ball pops up on my layer 3. So you can just play around with it. You can definitely play around with it and create whatever you want. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. I would love to kind of walk you through this and help out with this in any way. Give it a try, practice it a few times, and see if you can kind of just get the hang of creating these different layers, moving things around and playing around with it. But my advice to you is always start really, really simple. All right, see you next time. Bye.